Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Joining me now is Adam Goodman, partner at Ballard Partners. Adam, thanks for coming on once again.
Great to be with you post-debate.
I know, and we are here to break down the third presidential debate. It was down in Florida on Wednesday night. First, what are your takeaways?
Well, there's certain winners and losers that are obvious from last night. I think starting on the winner's side, I think there was no breakout performance. That certainly favors the former president and the Republican Derby. I thought that the moderators in NBC did a great job of keeping it clear and focused and not full of fisticuffs. And I thought that was something different than we saw in the first two debates. Foreign policy, I think America actually got a good dose of what's underneath the decisions we all have to make about what to do about things that are happening abroad, including what we fund, how we fund certain wars and certain engagements, our alliances, the importance of that. I do think that every shoemaker who makes 3-inch heels was a winner from the comment that Vivek had about Nikki, right? Just a winner. And I think, the city of Miami, in all the breaks, I mean, I see this as a television person, all those beautiful visuals, those drone shots at night of Miami. The Tourism Bureau of Miami must love the fact they had 2 hours to show that. So those were absolutely my takeaways. Those were the winners from last night. Certainly the loss is, I think you still have 5 contenders on stage who are still trying to make the case they're legitimate opponents, contenders to take on and maybe take out the former president. I think they're running short a calendar. The early states, Brittany, like Iowa and New Hampshire, who want some, all the drama going into those two derbies, maybe they'll have a little less drama. They certainly would be considered maybe losers in this. And I think also the current president. It was 2 hours where 5 very articulate potential commanders-in-chief were taking on the current commander-in-chief. And I think they made a pretty compelling case on several fronts, which is probably helps explain why the current president's job approval numbers, personal numbers are at near historic lows.
I think in this debate, it definitely felt more contained and the questions felt a little more specific and a little more pointed. And the topics did run the gamut, everything from foreign policy, abortion, election night on Tuesday, and everything in between. Are there any answers or responses that really surprised you, shocked you, you agreed with, anything like that?
Well, one of the things I neglected to add to the winners list, which probably is number one, the state of Israel. The nation of Israel. There was absolute 100% unshakable support on that stage for Israel and its fight against Hamas. And on top of that, one of the losers in that skirmish, if you saw it judging by what happened last night, were college administrators, college presidents, who were really being called on the carpet and asked to take a stand, an appropriate stand, as opposed to, we don't want to offend anybody, so we're going to be very careful about everything we say so no one has their feelings hurt, as opposed to, they're a terrorist group came into Israel and slaughtered innocents. Let's start there. And I think that was made very clear, Brittany, from last night's debate, that if that's the Republican point of view, that actually is a competitive point of view for the elections next year, because Democrats, who I think have been, by comparison, you might say, and universally, have been a little bit more nuanced about it. I think they're going to be called on the carpet if that's the position that the Republican Party and the standard bearer will be taking.
That was definitely a unifying moment, because there were a few moments where someone said, I agree with so-and-so on here, I disagree with you there, but they all were unequivocal in their support of Israel.